summer, but some part of me is hoping for tonight. It's not too late. My mind says yes, you've been here for quite some time, but my heart tells me you should stay a little while. Are we at the end or are we at the start? 129 beats per minute from my heart. Anywhere with you is where I long to roam. Night or day, I'm taking you all away. 'Cause my heart screams, let me carry you home. Bright lights and colors, love is for the ones who dares to wait. No use in running when all I really want is to make you stay. Mind says yes, you've been here for quite some time, but my heart tells me you should stay a little while. Are we at the end or are we at the start? 129 beats per minute from my heart. Anywhere with you is where I long to roam. Night or day, I'm taking you all the way. 'Cause my heart screams, let me carry you home. Oh, yeah. We are dreams, we are candles, we are light, we are believers, we are safe with each other, with each other. But are we at the end? Are we at the end or are we at the start? 129 beats per minute from my heart. Anywhere with you is where I long to roam. Night or day, I'm taking you all away. 'Cause my heart screams, let me carry you home. 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 Let me carry you home.
It's live from Customer Contact Week at home. Put your calls on hold. We're exploring the top challenges facing customer contact and CX leaders in these extraordinary times. Our queue is chock full of best practices from the most innovative brands in the world and the brightest stars in the customer contact constellation. You don't want to miss our virtual exhibit hall featuring the latest and greatest technology, products, and services in the industry. It's all right here. Welcome to Live from CCW at Home.
Well, hello and welcome to the final day of Customer Contact Week at Home. I'm Michael DeYager.
And I'm Nathan Nickens, and we're so glad to have you back in the home studio at CCW at Home in the once bustling metropolis of New York City.
The final day. Where does the time go, Nathan?
Yesterday, Michael, you were waxing on about counting down the days on the wall of your cell.
It was a performance. You know, I'm actually a very normal and well-adjusted person. The person you see here is just an act.
Really? That's a relief, because I thought you were a sociopath.
Psych! I was just acting there. God, I am good.
Send help, please. Anyway, we can't be together in person, but we can connect on social media. And Michael, that is basically the same in 2020, isn't it?
It sure is. Yeah. Now, share your pictures, comments, takeaways, and all your other fabulous moments at CCW at Home all over the socials.
And use hashtags CCW at Home and Customer Contact Week, please.
Do you even know what a social media is, Nathan? I doubt it.
Yes, I do, Michael. I have plenty of social...
I doubt it. I mean, your last one was MySpace, so let's move on. Need help?
So rude.
It's 2020. Who doesn't? Am I right?
Michael, for the last time, what we mean to say is if you need assistance during the event, our team is here to help.
And for the last time, I said what I said.
Okay.
In any case, click on the Get Help button on the top right corner of the platform and get direct access to attendee resources, our how-to video, and connect with our customer service calliopes, Paige and Kara.
Oh my goodness. Michael, that music, do you know what that music means?
Oh, Nathan, I could listen to it all day long. It's time to talk about prizes.
Oh, today is the last day.
They get it. It's the last day. Should I have worn a veil? You know, a black one, perhaps?
No, I get a little sentimental when things end, Michael.
No, actually, a veil wouldn't be the worst idea.
Michael.
I look nice in veils.
Right, okay.
Well, come to think of it, are there really many things that I don't look good in? So it's probably a pretty short list.
This is your last opportunity to rack up points before our prize drawing this afternoon.
I knew I wouldn't like sharing the stage with you. I just knew it.
Focus, Michael.
I'm taking this to the union. Anyway,
Okay.
Who missed out on the daily prizes and the surprise? You still have a chance to win super big today.
Boy, do they ever. We have a bounty of booty for the end users who are at the top of our leaderboard at 3:45 p.m. Eastern today.
Yeah, from a virtual autograph session with yours truly. We also have the DVD box set to the Raging Rapids Community College audition tapes, which I will add. They can be autographed, but that is an additional fee.
Those aren't real prizes. Don't leave, everyone. Those aren't the prizes.
Those are real prizes. I also have a lock of hair from Academy Award-winning actress Diane Keaton.
Are you serious? First of all, how did you get a lock of Diane Keaton's hair?
Well, I bought it from a fur trader in Quebec.
Oh my God.
Who also, may I add, is the only person I know who also has 2 right feet.
For the love of God, Michael. Back to our prizes. We have 15 prizes.
I see them. I see them. It's a long list, Nathan.
It is.
So none of my contributions made it to the prize list, did it?
That's a hard no.
Well, I see them. Just like I see my fans.
There are fans. Anyway, here we go.
All right, let's see here. We have a $1,000 gift card by Avaya.
That's right. We have a $500 Amazon gift card from New Star, Cogito, and Fonolo.
And Ring Central. And Genesis. And Immersion Learning.
And Bold 360 by LogMeIn. They're also giving away a $500 Amazon gift card.
See a $500 Microsoft Store gift card by Microsoft.
And this one's pretty bodacious, Michael. Tango Card is offering a $500 gift card, but the winner can decide where it goes.
Go ahead, customization. Also, are we almost through?
Oh, no, Michael, we have much, much more.
More, and yet still no room for Diane's lock of hair. You know, I can tell when I'm just not wanted.
Please read the next prize, Michael.
I will do it, but my heart is no longer in it. Calabrio brings $500 REI gift card.
And we have a $500 Wayfair gift card from Callminer.
Barrett is giving away a whole little gift card set from Lowe's, Instacart, Uber Eats, that all add up to $500.
And we have a $500 Apple Store gift card by CSG and an iPad Pro from Data Motion.
Now that prize list is simply elephantine.
Elephantine? Well, thanks to our sponsors for their contributions, and we'll be announcing the lucky winners today at 4 p.m. Eastern Time.
Now, speaking of sponsors, this wouldn't be possible if it weren't for our sponsors, especially our premium sponsors. Affinity,
Avaya,
Clarabridge,
Edify,
Five9,
Genesis,
LiveVox,
Nice InContact,
Salesforce Service Cloud,
and ServiceNow. Thank you all for your continued support and partnership.
Move over, man on the street. It's my pleasure to introduce CCW analyst Sandy Coe in a Zoom room.
She's a judicious Jessica Jones, armed with scratch-proof contact lenses, a kind heart, and a brilliant mind. She set out to discover hidden sacks of, say what? From the minds of leaders in our CCW community.
That's right. She's taking a magnifying glass to contact center execs and delivering a cornucopia of contact center confections or a souffle of scintillating scholarship. I like both, but there's only room for one. Should we add another day?
No, Michael. She's armed with charisma and curiosity. She set out to discover hidden nuggets of knowledge from the minds of leaders in our CCW community.
That's right. She's taking a monocle to contact center execs and delivering a, what did I say here? What's my muse? Wherefore art thou, Sandy Co?
Michael, let's check in with Sandy and see who's in the queue. Hey, Sandy.
Thanks, I'm Sandy Co, and today in the queue, we are joined by Colin Crowley, who's the VP of Customer Experience at Freshly and an international playwright. Hey, Colin, are you ready to go in the queue?
I'm ready, yes.
Ooh, let's go. If you could master one instrument, what would it be?
Oh my, I think I would like to master violin.
Ooh.
I love the sound, and at one point I was thinking about it, but I left it.
Difficult. What's your wake-up ritual in quarantine?
My wake-up ritual is to get ready very quickly, and I have this great iced coffee that I get from International Delight that kind of gets me going in the morning.
What's your favorite time of day?
I like the evening, because it's at the end of the day where everything's nice and restful.
Country you most recently visited?
Oh, that would be the UK last year.
Dream country to visit next?
I would love to go to Greece.
Dress shoes or sneakers?
Oh, dress shoes, definitely.
What are 3 things you can't live without?
Oh my, I would say, well, my family.
I
would say internet.
Okay.
And, this is a trick one. I have to say coffee, because I am a big coffee person.
What's one ingredient you put in everything?
Salt.
What's the weirdest word in the English language?
This word. I would say sesquipedalian, perhaps.
Oh, okay, that's new. You can pick one food to eat forever without getting tired of it. What would you eat?
Oh, I confess I'm a big donut fan, so probably donuts.
Favorite smell?
I like, well, this is very apropos. I like the bakery smell.
Oh.
So if you go by a bakery, smell the cooking and coffee, so I like that smell very much.
All right, last question. What is your least favorite thing about customer operations?
It's dealing with people who have high skills, but they just can't show up in time.
Got it. Well, actually, I lied. One more question. What is your favorite thing about customer operations?
Favorite thing, I like the creativity in the industry. I think it's very fast growing, and new advances in technology make it interesting, and just the different types of leaders that brings into the fray. So I just like that very diverse environment.
I like that too. Well, Colin, that's all the time that we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Sandy Co, and that was In the Queue. Now back to you.
Thank you, Sandy. Now it's time for the morning meeting, Michael.
That's right. Here are the top moments on our program that you don't want to miss today.
We'll kick off the day with a live CCW quiz show hosted by the CX rockstar himself, Mr. James Dodkins.
Followed up with a panel that is so prodigious, we had to build yet a bigger webcam.
Right.
They're going to discuss how you can leverage customer experience to transform your business.
Oh, Michael.
Oh, Nathan.
That discussion will be led by senior correspondent and Fox NFL reporter Pam Oliver.
Well, pet a peacock. That's exciting.
I thought you'd like that. From the sidelines of the old gridiron to the center stage of CCW at home. What do you think about that?
Something like that.
Okay.
And Pam will be joined by top executives from Salesforce, Thomas Jefferson University and Jefferson Health, and BBVA USA. And
after that, we break into 3 sets of case studies and breakout sessions on the top issues facing customer contact and CX leaders. Like
how to recruit, hire, and train remote agents.
That's a good one. Or how Salesforce and ESRI are solving issues as a team by case forming.
I've got a real humdinger right here.
Really?
How's about how 7-Eleven is improving their customer service with ServiceNow?
Sounds great. And we can't forget to mention that we'll learn about how NICE Nexidia is using an analytics-driven quality approach to arm agents with the data they need for compliance.
Well, I sure am glad I wore my Eaton pants. There's a whole hootenanny of super content on deck.
Plus, there's a very exciting new addition today.
Ooh, what's that? I wasn't told about it.
Well, that's why I'm now the head host.
Okay, well, we can get back to the morning meeting.
You'll notice a new tab on the navigation bar called, I think it's right there, Expo Hall Concierge.
You know, I only stay in motels that advertise concierge services.
Okay.
Well, we understand that navigating through a virtual expo hall can be a bit overwhelming.
Well, that's right. And to give you a little lift, CCW's very own Sandy Coe and Mario Matulich will be in the concierge booth to assist you so you can source the solutions you need now.
This is true.
Yep, stop by between 1 and 2:30 p.m. today.
Or 3 to 4 p.m., because we have
That's
two times. They'll be giving you tips, introductions, and a little advice for how to navigate this virtual exhibit hall.
You see, we're wrapping up our program today that's really been rich with the top issues facing leaders as they consider the future of the contact center.
And nothing has changed more in the last 6 months than the customer contact center.
Righto. And the partners, tools, and solution providers, Michael, that you choose in the coming months are going to be critical.
Invaluable.
Indispensable.
Very important.
To your company's success.
And today is all about meeting our world-class collection of service providers.
That's right, Michael.
There's nowhere else on the entirety of planet Earth where you can get more access to the top solution providers serving the customer contact and CX function than right here at CCW at home in our expo hall.
Nowhere else on planet Earth?
You heard me, planet Earth.
Well, to that end, we're turning our game on its head.
Well, buckle my Birkenstocks and bounce a ball on my behind, Nathan. We're turning the game on its head.
I'm not going to do that, Michael.
It's an expression.
No, it isn't. No one says that. In fact, no one says anything that comes out of your mouth. You're like a one-person inferno for the English language.
That's the sweetest thing you've ever said to me, Nathan.
Well, as I was saying, we're turning the game on its head. The only 1,000-point category in the game today is going to be visiting booths in our virtual exhibit hall.
That's right. Each booth visit today is worth 1,000 points. As we've always said at CCW, we make solution sourcing fun.
Now, turn on your thinking caps and dust off your buzzers. It's time to put your calls on hold.
We're kicking off our first keynote with a good old-fashioned quiz show.
He's one of the most influential CX leaders in the industry.
That's right. James Dodkins is ready to lead an interactive live quiz show. And let me remind you, it's a competition.
That's right. The winner will walk away with a $100 gift card.
Plus, major bragging rights with your new title as Customer Contact Champion. Maybe even an autograph from me.
I'm sure they'll love it. James, are you ready for us?
Yes, I am. Was that my cue to go? Because if it was, I'm going to go. Welcome, you beautiful people. Hello. Welcome to the CCW Quiz Show. I'm not going to talk like that throughout the whole thing. Don't worry. I just want to say thank you guys for being here today. Thank you to all of CCW for letting me do this. This is a little bit different. It's going to be slightly strange, possibly. All right, I'm not used to doing my keynotes like this, but I was thinking, what can I do that would be engaging and fun and different? And then it hit me. Quiz show. Okay, let's turn that music off. So, now I'm down here. How cool is that? The answer is very cool. Let me give you a little run through about who I am and how this is all going to work. So, who am I? It's a fantastic question. My name is James Dodkins. I used to be an actual real-life, legitimate, award-winning rock star, but now I'm not. Now I'm a customer experience rock star, and I'm a customer experience rock star because me and my team travel around the world delivering musical customer experience keynotes that we used to before the whole pandemic thing, and hopefully we will again at some point. But they're really cool. They're really fun. I play guitar in them. They're all musically themed. I've also got a show on Amazon Prime called This Week in CX. And I've recently been named as the UK's #1 customer experience influencer by Customer Experience magazine, which is very cool. So, right, let's get into this. Let me tell you how this game is going to work. You're going to play with your phones. So you're going to have your phones in your hands, and your phone is going to become your answer keypad. You're going to look at the screen, you're going to see my beautiful face, and you're going to see the questions. But on your phones, you will answer the questions. That's how that's going to work. That's going to become a little bit clearer as we move on. Now, the way that the points work is there's going to be a points countdown. You're going to have 30 seconds to answer each question. Okay? Each question is worth 100 points. Okay, the quicker you answer, the more of those 100 points you're going to get. That's how it works. So you're going to get a little thing. It's going to go down all the way down to 0 points. The quicker you answer, the more points you get. But also, not just that, you're going to get points deducted for wrong answers. What? Who would do that? That's evil, James. Yes, it is. However, this is going to keep it super competitive all the way from start to finish. Okay, it means that just a couple of questions can really change how the leaderboard is going to look. Right? The amount of questions, the amount of points you're going to lose is 20. 20 points you're going to lose for every wrong answer. So you've got a decision to make, guys. You've got a decision. Am I going to risk getting it wrong because I want the points? Or am I going to not answer and play it safe? That's your decision to make. Right, there's going to be 13 questions overall, just 13. Right, and the first question is going to be a practice question. So no points available for that first question because it's a practice one, but it's going to get you used to how to use your phone as a keypad. Right, if you want to get in touch with me, I'm going to do this now rather than at the end. If you want to get in touch with me, right, just go to jd@rockstar.cx. That's my email address. You can send me an email. You can tell me how much you love this super cool quiz show. You can do that. Right. Also, it was mentioned before about the CCW at-home game. The top 5 players in today's game, the 5 players with the most points, they are going to get 1,000 more points to add to their CCW at-home game total. Ooh. But also, this is the best part, the first place player, the player with the most points, is going to get a $100 gift card. I don't know where to, but to somewhere that sells things of at least the value of $100, I imagine. But you're going to get a $100 gift card for first place. So there's lots of really cool prizes to play for. Right. When you sign in on your phone, you've got to put your real name and real email address, because that's how you're going to find out how to use your prize. That's where your prize is going to get sent. So use your real name. If you've got any stupid made up names on there, or you put your name in as James Sucks and I Hate You, disqualified right away. So use your real name. And if you want to post about this very cool, innovative, fun and different quiz on LinkedIn or Twitter or Instagram or TikTok, no, maybe not TikTok, but all the other ones, use the hashtag CCW quiz, as well as all the other hashtags that have been mentioned as well. Right, now is the time to join. What you're going to do is you're going to get your phone. Go to your chosen browser. Nothing to download. You're just going to go to your chosen browser. And you are going to type in the address that you see right here, crowd.live/CCW. On your phone, you are going to see something that looks surprisingly similar to that on the screen there, because it's a screenshot of it. And all you got to do is put in your name and your email address. Now, if you don't want to give me your email address, that's fine. You can still watch, you can play along, but you're not going to win any prizes. Well, you can't play it. Well, you can play along in your head. Don't worry, I'm not going to spam you. I'll only email you like once or twice a day for the next 10 years. About all sorts of, no, I won't. I might email you every now and again about customer experience, rockstar stuff, but I'm not the spammy type. So all you've got to do right now, giving you time to get on, go to your chosen browser on your phone or an iPad. You can use it or an Android device. I'm an equal opportunity mobile device person. Go to crowd.live/CCW. Okay. So now, through the magic of computers, we should be able to go to the quiz show. Look, I'm here now. How cool is that? Right, so again, if you join in late, all you've got to do is go to crowd.live/CCW and you'll be able to play the game. Let me see if people are logging in already and ready to go. Okay, people are logging in. People are ready to go. I'm going to give you more time. Again, guys, just remember, you got to go to crowd.live/CCW. I'll give you a couple more seconds to get that down because I can see people still coming in. I'm just going to sit here. I'll put the theme tune on again. No, I won't. I wouldn't do that to you. Okay. Let's do this. Hope you are ready. Let the games begin. So a little countdown timer just to add the suspense. That's all we got to do, just add that suspense. Now remember, if you are just joining us and you want to play, go to crowd.live and enter code CCW, or go to crowd.live/CCW. Okay, so here we have the very first question. Now remember, this is a practice question. No points available, but it's going to let you know how things work. Are you ready? I hope you're ready. I'm ready. Let's go. So James Dodkins, that's me, is known as the CX what? Hang on. There may be a technical issue, which is very annoying. Bear with me a second. Good job, it's a practice question. Jeez. Right, hang on. Okay, so, right, I'm fairly confident it's sorted itself out. So if you didn't answer, that's fine. But let's see if anybody did answer. Oh, wow. I'm really enjoying how this is working perfectly. Right, well, the answer is Rockstar. Okay, so you probably got that. Let's move on to the next question. And fingers crossed it works and I don't kill myself. Okay, question number 2. Let me, you know what? This might take a little reset. Oh, don't you just love technology? Oh, James, would you know it'd be really cool? Do a cool quiz. People will like that. That'll be good. Oh, but that's far too much technology to use. No, it's fine. It'll work perfectly every time. Of course it will. Right, let's see if. Give it a second. Okay. So, right. Possibility it might work this time. Hope you're still here. Hope you haven't all just left, because that'd be awful. Right, let's give it a shot. Okay. Hey, it looks like it's working now. So you got your time to answer the question. You answer it this time. What am I? Am I a CX ninja, a CX whisperer, a CX pest, or a CX rock star? It'd be beautiful if this works and it goes off without a hitch for the rest of it. Wouldn't that be amazing? I think that would be completely amazing. Okay. Let's see how people answered. There we go. One person said I was a CX ninja. I love that answer. I do. I honestly do. But no, of course, I am the CX rock star. Right. Let's move on to the next question. Now, this next question is the one that actually counts. You're actually going to get points for this. Remember, that was a practice question. So we're going to move on to the next question. What year was Customer Contact Week founded? Was it A, 1996, B, 1999, C, 2002, or D, 2004? What year was Customer Contact Week founded? Remember, if you are just joining us and you would like to play, it's still all to play for. Just go to crowd.live in a browser on your phone and type in the code CCW. Okay, let's see how people answered. Ooh, okay, so the majority of you there think it was 1999. Let's see what the correct answer was. Of course it was 1999. Of course it was. 50% of you got that correct. Now let's see what has happened to the leaderboard. Okay, so Sherry or Cherry, whichever, Cherry is number 1. Simon is joint number 1. Steve is also joint number 1. But it's the first question. You all answered that at the exact same time. So well done. But there's plenty of other questions. But remember, every time you get it wrong, you lose points. And the quicker you answer, the more points you get. So let's move on to question number 3. What was the original name of Customer Contact Week? Was it A, Contact Center Week, B, Consumer Contact Week, C, Call Center Week, or D, none of the above? Ooh, trick question maybe, who knows? But what was the original name of Customer Contact Week? Okay, let's see how you all answered. The majority of you, 21 people, 62% think it was Call Center Week. One person thought it was Consumer Contact Week. Let's see. Of course, it was Call Center Week. Now, the majority of you got that correct, but has that affected the leaderboard? I would hope it has. Tyler is number 1, Steve is joint number 1, and Joel is 3rd. That's not really fair. You're technically 2nd if they're joint number 1, but it is all still to play for. Okay, let's move on to the next question. What year did Tony Shea first speak at Customer Contact Week? Was it 2014, 2016, 2018, or 2019? Tony Shea recently, literally yesterday, stepped down from his position as CEO at Zappos. Absolute legend, pioneer in customer centricity. When did he first speak at Customer Contact Week? Okay, 2, 1, and your time is up. Let's see how you all answered. Oh, a bit of a mixed bag, not so confident this time. 43% of you think it was 2016, but let's see who was right. Of course it was 2016. What other year could it have been? What other year indeed? But has that affected the leaderboard? Oh, how very interesting. Now we've got a clear 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Joel is at the top in 1st place. Terry is there in 2nd, and Jim is there in 3rd place. But there's all still to play for. Everything still to play for. Remember the prize of $100 gift card to a place where I don't know where it is, but it'll still be very good. And the top 5 people win 1,000 points for the CCW at home game. Fantastic. If you are just joining us, you can still play. There is still a chance to win. All you got to do is go to crowd.live on your phone in a browser and enter the code CCW. Okay, next question. Who was the first chair of the Customer Contact Week Advisory Board? Was it A, John Pompey? Was it B, Kelly Kurtzman? Was it C, Jennifer Solomon? Or was it D, Becky Ploger? Who was the first chair of the Customer Contact Week Advisory Board? Get your answers in now. We've got 5 seconds left. Okay, let's see how you all answered. Ooh, a mixed bag again. Now, most people here think it was A, John Pompey. 39% of you, in fact, think it was John Pompey. But of course, it was Becky Ploger. 23% of you got that correct. Did it affect the rankings? No, it didn't. Joel, Terry, and Jim staying up there in the podium places. But remember, the quicker you answer, the more points you get. And if you get a question wrong, you lose points. So everything is still to play for. Let's move on to the next question. Fingers on buzzers. Who is this CCW marketeer? Is it Gawi Kim, CCW Marketing Director? Is it Lauren Miller, CCW Marketing Manager? Is it Lily Zeng, CCW Social Media Manager? Or is it Emily Dunn, CCW Digital Marketer? Who is this CCW Marketeer? We're in the CCW Celebs section now. Okay. Let's see how you all voted. Ooh. 62% of you think it is the infamous Lily Zeng. But let's see if you were correct. No, only 28% of you were correct there. It's actually Garwi Kim. So that really should have affected the leaderboard. Let's check. Ooh, third place has changed. Cheryl is in there. Cheryl China in number 3. Terry Lang in number 2. And Joel White keeping his place at number 1. And everything's still to play for. You could knock Joel off of his perk. Show him who's boss by putting your fingers on your buzzers and getting ready for the next question. Who is this CCW Advisory Board member? Is it John Pompey? Is it Brian LaRoche? Is it Mark Killick? Or is it Lance Gruner? Who is this CCW Advisory Board member? I hope you're liking the suspense music. It's making it more interesting, or more exciting, making you sweat. Okay, let's see how you all scored. Ooh, I need to go away again. Ooh, 45% of you think that it's Mark Killick, but then again, a lot of you, the majority of you, got the last question wrong. So let's see who was right. Of course it's Mark Killick. Of course, 45% of you correct. Let's see how that has affected the leaderboard. Joel White still at number 1. Cheryl has taken the 2nd spot. Terry has been smashed down to 3rd. But it's all still to play for. Remember, the quicker you answer, the more points you get. And if you get it wrong, you lose points. If you are just joining us and want to play, it's fine. There's loads of people on minus points. You're going to get more points than them. And remember, the top 5 people get 1,000 points on the CCW at home game, and the top first place person that Joel seems to be wanting to take right now is going to get a $100 gift card. So if you do want to join us, just grab your phone, go in a browser, enter crowd.live, and then the code CCW, and you can play the game. Right, let's move on. Let's get ready. Fingers on buzzers. In what year was this keynote speaker featured at CCW? Was it 2016? Was it 2017? Was it 2018? Or was it 2019? What year was this CCW speaker featured? 5 seconds left. Okay. Debbie Fields, who could have forgot? Let's see who forgot. Oh, okay, so 52% of you are fairly confident it was 2017, but 31% of you feel that it's 2016. Less of you think the other ones, but let's see. Drum roll, please. I haven't actually got a drum roll. I should get a drum roll. Oh, right. This will have affected. This must have affected things. Look at that. Look at that. Only 7% of you got that correct. This must change things. Let's see. It didn't change things. I was wrong. Okay, maybe it was just you guys that got it correct then. So Joel is still up there in 1st place. 2nd place, close behind, is Cheryl. And then 3rd place is Jim. The podium places are there, but there is still everything to play for. The quicker you answer, the more points you get. If you get it wrong, you lose points. I think you got this by now. If you are just joining us, look at the joining instructions there. Sweet. Let's move on. Fingers on buzzers. Who is this CCW headliner? Is it Dylan Astle? Is it Dan Gingis? Is it Jason Bradshaw? Is it Nick Friedman? Who is this CCW headliner? Remember, if you don't know, you could guess, take the points, get it right. But if you get it wrong, you lose points. Well, what a tangled web we weave. Okay, time's up. No more answers. Let's see how you all scored. Ooh, I need to go away. Ooh, most of you think it's Nick Friedman, but I know for a fact that it's Jason Bradshaw. 30% of you got that correct. Now, in the past, I've been like, wow, that's really going to affect the leadership board. I think it will this time, but I don't really want to say it because I've been wrong every other time. So let's see if maybe this one time I'm going to be right. No, it's stayed the same. Joel is still there in first place. Cheryl's so close in second. And then Jim still pushing up third. But you know what I'm going to say? Everything is still to play for. The quicker you answer, the more points you get. But if you get it wrong, you lose points. Next question. Fingers on buzzers. Who was the first CCW Shark to speak at a Customer Contact Week event? Was it Robert Herge? Was it A, that guy? Was it Barbara Currican? Why have they got awful names? Was it C, Damon John, or was it D, Mark Cuban? Robert, you know what? I even Googled how to say this dude's name and I forgot. I'm English, I don't get Shark Tank or whatever it is. Robert Herjavec, Barbara Corcoran, Damon John, Mark Cuban. If you're recording this, let's delete that part, please. Right, let's see how you all scored. Ooh, the majority of you think it was Barbara. Only 7% of you think it was Damon John. 29% of you think it's Robert Herjavec. I said it well that time. And 21% of you think it's Mark Cuban. Let's see who it was. Ah, it was Robert Herjavec. Oh, that's why I Googled his name, because I knew I was definitely going to have to say it. There you go. 29% of you got that correct. The majority of you got that wrong. Let's see how that has affected the leaderboard. Top three have stayed the same. Joel White still up there in first place. Cheryl still there in second, still fighting for that top spot. And Jim, dark horse maybe he's going to take it in the last. There's only 2 questions left, but there still is everything to play for. Fingers on buzzers. Which of the following is not one of the CCW pillars? A, community-oriented. B, transformational. C, inspirational. D, unforgettable, like this really cool quiz keynote. I hope it's unforgettable in a good way. I'm going to search for that hashtag later. Hashtag CCW quiz. Be like, oh, what's this idiot doing? I even dressed up for you guys. I'm grateful. Right, okay, let's see how you all answered. Ooh, there's a bit of a split there. So the majority of you think that unforgettable is not one of the CCW pillars. When they booked a keynote speaker to do a virtual interactive quiz, you think unforgettable is not one of their pillars. The community has also voted that community-oriented is not one of the pillars. Let's see how many of you got that correct. Transformational is not one of the pillars, although I would argue that these events always are transformational. Let's see what that's done to the leaderboard. Okay. Joel's still in first place, Cheryl's in second, and Jim is there in third. I would at this point say it's still everything to play for, but I don't actually think there is, because like literally you can only get 100 points. So unless some disaster happens, I'm fairly confident Joel's going to win this. But let's see. That doesn't mean go anywhere. It's still fun to do. Right, next question. Last question. Oh, it's not the last question. There's 2 questions left. I was wrong. There's 2 questions left. It's all still to play for, guys. All still to play for. Penultimate question. Where did the winter edition of CCW move in 2019? Was it New Orleans? Was it Austin? Was it Nashville? Or was it Dallas? New Orleans, Austin, Nashville, or Dallas? I'll give you a clue. That photo was taken there. 5 seconds left. Okay. Let's see how you all answered. 59% of you think it's Nashville. But let's see what the correct answer is. Of course, it was Nashville, Music City, one of the coolest places on earth. But let's see how that has affected the leaderboard. Joel still in first place. Cheryl still in second, and Terry still in third. If it scrolls through a little bit more, I'll be able to see who is in fourth and fifth place, because you also win prizes. If you're just joining us, you can play, but there's probably no point now because we are on the last question now. Right, okay. Steve and hi, Jim. How's it going, dude? I hope Jim wins a prize. Okay. So I saw Becky Ploger's playing. One of the questions was about you. Hi, Becky. How's it going? Right. Okay. Final question now, for real this time. Fingers on buzzers. In what year did Call Center Week rebrand as Customer Contact Week? Was it 2015? Was it 2016? Was it 2017? Or was it 2018? What year did Call Center Week rebrand as Customer Contact Week? 5 seconds left. Is this the one that's going to change everything? No, because I'm pretty sure that first place was far. We had loads of points. But anyway, let's see how you all answered. Oh, even split almost. So most of you think it was 2018. 33% of you, in fact, think it was 2018. But let's see what the correct answer is. Oh, it was 2017. 2017. But does that change the leaderboard? For the last time, let's look at the leaderboard and see who has won the CCW quiz show. Joel White has won, taken first place. Congratulations. Well fought. Cheryl takes second place. Jim came up into third place at the last second. At the last second came up and took third place. Amazing. How much fun. Well, guys, that is it from me. Congratulations to Joel. The guys are going to send over your prize. The top 5 people as well are going to get 1,000 points for the CCW at home game. I hope you had a lot of fun. Remember to post about this with the hashtag CCW quiz. Get in touch with me. Add me on LinkedIn or email me at jd@rockstar.cx. But that is me out. Thank you, guys.
Well, congratulations again, Joel, for being the CCW Quizmaster. Thanks, James.
And winning a $100 gift card.
That's right.
Those were some tough questions.
They were very difficult questions. Absolutely.
I mean.
Moving right along, joining the next session will earn you
double points.
That's right. Up next, we have a rambunctious rah.
What? Just drink your coffee back there, Nathan. I'll handle this. Up next is a rambunctious rah.
No, you drink your coffee. I'll handle this. Up next is a rambunctious panel brought to you by Salesforce that elucidates how your company can deliver world-class customer experiences that compete with global super brands.
Led by Maestro Pam Oliver, the senior correspondent for Fox Sports.
And Pam is joined by Salesforce's VP of Global Innovation, Brian Solis.
Lisa Griffin, SVP Enterprise Access at Thomas Jefferson University and Jefferson Health.
And Carolina Aramayo, BBVA's SVP of Contact Center Transformation.
Take it away, Pam.
Hello and good afternoon, everybody. I'm Pam Oliver with Fox Sports, and I'm so happy to be your panel moderator today. It's a pleasure being with you like me. I hope you're looking forward to learning some key new information as it relates to customer service and automation. A lot of interesting aspects to these topics will be discussed here, and we certainly hope you come away informed and brimming with ideas. To learn a lot of new information to transform your business, you must urgently transform customer service. That's the topic we'll be covering here today to start things off. But first, we have some panelists I'd like to introduce into the discussion. We're going to start with Lisa Griffin. Lisa is Senior VP Enterprise Access, Thomas Jefferson University and Jefferson Health. Lisa is setting up a patient engagement center in the New Jersey and Pennsylvania areas by using technology and patient preferences such as chatbots and AI. Lisa strongly believes that technology is valuable to make things better, especially when it can streamline processes and make things more efficient. To achieve these goals of creating valuable technology, she works with her developers to ensure that the technology is intuitive for both her patients and her employees. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Lisa.
Thank you. It's a
Great
pleasure to be here.
Carolina Aramayo. Now, she leads the contact center transformation at BBVA USA Bank by incorporating technology and analytics at the core of their operations model. In addition to her main responsibilities, I love this about Carolina, she loves to learn and share best practices regarding mindfulness, organizational psychology, and emotional intelligence. Carolina, welcome to you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Brian Solis is Global Innovation Evangelist at Salesforce, a global leader in customer relationship management. Brian works at Salesforce and it focuses on thought leadership and research that explores digital transformation, innovation, and disruption CX, commerce, and cognitive enterprise. Now, Brian has been called one of the greatest digital analysts of his time. Brian is also a world-renowned keynote speaker and award-winning author of 8 best-selling books, including X, The Experience, When Business Meets Design, What's the Future of Business, and The End of Business as Usual. Great panel here today. Now, we're in unprecedented times, obviously, as you all know, where strategy to move the needle on CX is accelerating at a groundbreaking rate. In a customer's day-to-day life, they use apps and platforms that perform great experiences, whether it's Siri and smartphones, recommendation engines on Amazon, or facial recognition on apps like Facebook. The consumerization of strategic advance has created new customer expectations. Your business must meet and exceed the best customer experiences on the market, or not rocket science, lose some of your customers to your competitors. In this dynamic panel, the innovative leaders in your profession will share their thoughts on how leading companies can, 1, deliver world-class customer experience that can compete with global super brands, 2, use AI as customer service transformation as an agent, 3, deliver customer experience metrics that drive improved business outcomes. Let's start with you, Lisa. Tell us a little bit about your role and what your job entails.
Well, I am the Senior Vice President of Enterprise Patient Access at Thomas Jefferson Hospital and Thomas Jefferson University. And my role is to ensure that our patients have a barrier-free experience in getting the healthcare services they need. So that means that if the patient chooses to be seen in their homes, we have that pathway for them to be seen, and we meet that preference. If the patient wants to come in and be seen in person, we meet that preference as well. If they call us on the phone, if they want to make appointments online, whatever the patient preference is, we want to make sure that channel is barrier-free. And that is my responsibility, regardless of the mode in which the patient wants to connect with us.
Carolina, can you take that same question? Tell us about what your job entails.
Absolutely. My role is to lead transformational changes for the contact center. Transformational changes are major upgrades to how a business operates. This includes organizational structure, the processes, the infrastructure, the technology platform. My end goal in making these large-scale improvements is to significantly enhance our customers' journeys and the way that the contact center operates and services our clients.
Awesome. Brian, we know you to be the best in the world at what you do. Tell us a little bit more.
Thank you, Pam. Well, I'm trying to figure that out myself. At Salesforce, I have an opportunity to study how technology is transforming markets, and specifically as a digital anthropologist, I look at how technologies are transforming customer behaviors, expectations, preferences, values, norms, and then I reverse engineer that to help our customers and business leaders in general understand where they can make investments to not just keep up with customer expectations, but leapfrog the market, leapfrog the competition, and be that sought-after brand.
Oh, wow. Now, Brian, let me say to you while we have you, when it comes to customer service transformation, you can't boil the ocean. If you wait for your entire organization to be ready, you'll never begin. That being said, when it comes to customer-centric transformation, where do you start?
It's one of those answers that should be common sense, but the answer is to start with customers. And if you think about it, if we look about maybe 20 or 30 years of technology evolution, many businesses have used technology to scale, to become more efficient, to put in processes in place where customers can go through systems that allow the organization to deal with greater volumes at lower costs. But at the same time, that's also pushed the customer away from the core of the business, which is essentially relationships and also experience. When we talk about customer experience, it's important to remember that it's not a thing. It's not just about technology. It's not just about systems or processes. It's very human. So if you added an apostrophe S to customer experience and made it the customer's experience, it forces us to see things from their perspective. And like you said, Pam, they have access to all of these new technologies, and those are setting the standards for the experiences they want to have.
Lisa, what about you? When it comes to customer-centric transformation, where do you start? What's the answer for you?
Well, for me, it all boils down to I'm in healthcare. So when you're in healthcare, you have to look at things from a personal perspective. Our patients have needs. So when we look at it, we use our technology to understand what the patient's needs are. So I'll use just if a patient calls, on that telephone call, we have speech analytics models that we actually start listening to what our patients' needs are. Example, during the pandemic, we started hearing where our patients had a fear. And we started hearing that over and over again on our phone calls. And it allowed us to put a model around dispelling the fear that our patients were feeling. So having the right technology to be nimble enough to move with the needs of your customers, and in our case, our patients, and being able to meet their needs, we think about that every day. What are the needs? What is the market? How do we make sure that we're the top of mind healthcare organization in this market that our patients think about? So for me, it is understanding that we're dealing with humans and humans that are sick and afraid, and then understanding how to deal with them based on where they are at that moment in their life. So really understanding what personalized care means is really where our focus is.
And it sounds like listening is what's key. Just hear what they're saying. Right, Lisa?
Yes, that is key. It's like, what are they saying to us? What do they need from us? What are the needs at the time? And when it deals with healthcare, the needs can shift. And we're seeing that now, and it's being ready for that shift to where if we have to go to the patient's homes to make sure that we're meeting their needs. If we have to meet them with a mobile unit in their neighborhood, that's what we do. So I think that understanding the voice of the patient and the needs at that particular time is what really shifts how we deal with our patients and their needs. So whatever that preference is, we make sure that we meet those preferences.
And Brian, as you know, no matter what the industry, you're judged by the last best customer experience, whether physical or digital. Within your organization, what transformation are you most proud of? Something that's taken your organization one step closer to that perfect customer experience?
Well, at Salesforce, it's our mission to help companies and organizations build those relationships, establish that trust, become the go-to brand for their customers. And so we provide technology that gives companies that 360 view across the customer journey. So as long as, like we heard Lisa say, as long as we're putting the voice of the patient or the voice of the customer at the center of everything that we're doing, we're going to have a pretty good idea of where we can add value their way. And I think this is where it really comes down to that makes digital transformation so hard, is that we're coming off of decades of having access to incredible technology. Now we have AI, now we have machine learning and automation, but we can't go technology first. We have to break that habit. Now we have to use technology to deliver a purpose, and that purpose that we're hearing with Carolina and Lisa is that the customer experience is the sum of all engagements that they have with that company. So why not make them exceptional? And to make them exceptional, we have to know what they want and what they love.
Carolina, as we bring you back into the conversation, customer service transformation begins at an internal transformation, as employee experience needs to be in place where it empowers your workforce to deliver to customers. How is your organization involving employees in what we're talking about today?
Sure. So from a contact center perspective, definitely we go to the agent and looking at the agent's experience and how can we make it easier and more effortless for them. Because these frontline employees, they're talking to customers every day. The easier that we can give them the right systems, the right tools, the right information at the right time. You know, they're having these calls back and forth with customers. The easier we can make it for them to do their job, the better service that they're going to get. So we involve them often in focus groups, on site, and getting that feedback so we can drive our transformation strategy. From an organizational perspective, something I've been really impressed with is how BBVA, my organization, started using behavioral economics to guide customer decision making. Behavioral economics is a study of how people make decisions. And when we can better understand how and why people make decisions on their purchases, we can better guide them through a complex decision process, such as choosing a financial product. So an example of how BBVA is using behavioral economics is by, for example, eliminating too much information at one time on a digital site, which is known as cognitive overload. You know, simplifying language, streamlining the options, giving the customers, you know, more of a visual of the different products and the differences. The changes are very subtle. It's not meant to influence their decision. It's just meant to provide the information in a more clear and transparent way. And another example of how the global bank found a way to use behavioral economics to impact its effort around diversity and gender equality in the workplace. So women are more likely to view a job description and view it as a list of required qualifications for a job. And so they were less likely to apply for higher positions within the company. And so in an effort to encourage more women applicants, there was a business unit within the bank. They conducted a test where they reorganized the way the job description listed preferred versus required criteria. And just making some changes to the redesign and the language, they were able to see a 30% increase in the number of women applicants. And this type of behavioral economic training is available to BBVA employees. And we also have best practice meetings where we can meet and figure out the best way to apply this in our respective areas. So it's been a really cool way to engage employees to rethink the design of products and the delivery of these services.
Lisa, if you can pick up on that, how is your organization involving employees?
So our employees are empowered. So we already have in place, we had Gemba walks and things of that nature prior to the challenges that we're currently facing. And we put our employees in stretch exercises to where they're always empowered with a continuous improvement mindset. So when it comes to our employees, first, we asked them to be involved in our decision making. What would make their job easier? And in the call center environment, all the technology actually manages the skill levels. It manages when our employees need additional help. We actually know that. We get alerts in real time. So we know when our employees need us as leaders, that they need more information just by their talk, their speech to text. It actually gives us alerts in real time when we know that potentially an employee is struggling with a patient, or there is some escalation during the encounter. We know that in real time. And our employees don't have to look for us. They don't have to raise their hand and say, I need a leader to help me. It is, I'm struggling right now. We have built in these components within their flow. All they have to do is talk, and all they have to do is provide good customer service. We can hear whether it's a patient that's escalated or our employee that's escalated. We can hear when they need help, and we're right there for them. They can hear us speaking to them directly in their ear without the patient even knowing that we're there coaching them through something that potentially they feel like they can't get through on their own. And then imagine now in healthcare, and then a lot of our employees are in a call center environment, and now they're faced with daycare, they're faced with a pandemic, they're faced with having to either work from home and all the challenges that came with having your children at home. As an organization, we had to be flexible, understand that our employees had the same needs as everyone else is going through in the world, and then being flexible enough to get them to a safe environment where they felt if they worked from home, they felt safer. So deploying 250 employees that were on site to home in less than a 2-week period. Some didn't have telephones, some didn't have internet. So giving them the tools, computers, giving them MiFis, giving them the phones where we can move very quickly for employees that weren't used to working remote, and make them comfortable in providing the same level of service that they would when they were on site. So a lot of our employees already work remote prior to the pandemic, but we sent 250 home that did not work remote, and they got used to it. And now everyone new comes in, and those employees will pretty much probably stay at home. It accelerated what we were going to do in the next 2 years.
Wow. We're talking about COVID-19, obviously fundamentally accelerated business transformation and tested business continuity. These changes obviously include customer operations and ultimately, Brian, the customer experience. So what key transformations has COVID-19 accelerated in customer operations with you?
Well, I'll tell you, I think McKinsey estimated that we've seen 10 years of digital transformation accelerate in just a few months. And as you heard with Lisa's story, I mean, 250 people going to work remotely in 2 weeks. I mean, that's a phenomenal number. And essentially, you're seeing organizations have to respond quickly, which is fantastic in these times because we have access to things like artificial intelligence, for example. And so we can not just listen to customers, we can understand in real time what those trends are, what those preferences are. We can help agents, we can help employees understand how to deliver greater value in the moment, which is incredible because I think at the end of the day, the customer, when it comes to customer support and customer engagement, that's someone's attention. And when we have someone's attention, we have a choice of what we want to do with it. We can read off a script and we can try to get people off the line as quickly as possible, or we could leave them feeling better than they did when they started that call or that engagement. So I see this as an opportunity to let technology enable us to deliver not only great experiences, but incredible differentiation where we actually see customer service not being an Achilles heel, but actually a brand differentiator and value proposition.
Carolina, let me ask you, what initiatives have come up to the top in these most critical times?
Sure. Our situation is very similar to Lisa's, actually. We had to completely mobilize a large percentage of our workforce to work from home. Not only internal employees, but we outsource our contact centers, and they're located in different countries. So having to deal with the Wi-Fi and the government closures and transportation for these agents and getting them access in a secure way to be able to service clients, it was a huge endeavor for us. As a result, it shined a light on the infrastructure changes that we knew we needed to make, that we were wanting to make. And so that has gone to the top of the list now, moving to more of a cloud solution, having more scalability. These initiatives are at the top now, but we were able to get them to work from home, but it wasn't easy. And so now we're going to be doing some major infrastructure changes and getting the resources we need to prepare for this next time.
Do you feel employees have adjusted, or they're just, it's the way of the world, it's what we all have to do, virtual, meetings and things like that. So how do you think they've adapted?
It was a big adjustment for several, especially for agents and working from home and having families and children. And so we provided a lot of training and guidance, meetings and get-togethers virtually to try to support the group as much as possible. I do feel like it's the norm. It's going to be the norm going forward, and that people are used to it at this point.
Lisa and Brian, I'm going to pose that to you in a different way. How can we as customer contact leaders be agile amidst this disruption? How do you bend and flow?
I'll let Lisa go first because she used Agile earlier.
I think, just being very honest, I went through the floods in Houston in healthcare. So that experience actually allowed me to come to Philadelphia and really move very quickly. I think this is the first time in healthcare that I thought probably a month after I got here that I need a disaster recovery plan and I need to have it in place in case something happens. And not knowing that this would happen, I leaned on that experience, put that in place, and literally we just moved very quickly in being agile and getting people home. It was probably half of that 250 employees was at home within 4 or 5 days of working, taking phone calls, because we prepared for if something, the worst happens. And people thought, I think after I got here, that I was too overboard. And then when they saw that it was a template for the entire organization and other locations to follow very quickly, I think that it was valued that having something like that in place in any organization is important, because you hope you never use it, but you're prepared for the worst. And when it comes to employees, when it comes to our patients, when it comes to the well-being of everyone involved. We had to really move and adjust very quickly. It hit us hard. COVID hit New Jersey very quickly, Pennsylvania location. Our hospital saw the most COVID patients in the state of Pennsylvania, and less than 1% people got COVID are within our organization after they got here, or employees. So we really prided ourselves in being nimble, and we put safety at the forefront of everything that we did, from our patients to our employees. Safety was our number one concern, and then it was the business part of healthcare.
Brian, would you like to add?
It's hard to add to all of this, but I'll share just some leadership advice, because I think in these times it's natural to want to hunker down, kind of slash some budgets, look at resources, when in fact this is the time to actually be innovative. And we see the most advanced organizations looking at these times to say, where can we make a difference? So for example, if we know customers are changing, their expectations are changing, if we know technology can keep up and even get ahead of them, then we know that the most competitive organizations are going to adopt technology, but also people, talent, systems, and processes to make the most of that technology. And I'll share a couple of stats from our State of Service report. It basically says that 82% of service decision makers say that they have to transform to stay competitive. And if we look at AI as a competitive advantage, only 24% of organizations today have deployed artificial intelligence in this regard. So that means there's a lot of room for improvement. And you see that higher performing organizations are 3 times more likely than underperforming organizations to adopt AI in service. And then lastly, 71% of agents say that their role is changing in these times. And so if we can use AI to empower, not just empower them, but find ways in the moment to deliver better experiences, who doesn't want that on either side? Because all stats show that when customers are much more satisfied and when employees feel like they're empowered, you get better morale, you get better performance, and you get more loyal and advocating customers. And that's phenomenal.
What is the main takeaway as we conclude our panel? What's the main takeaway that you want people to go back and implement and think about and, just really, really be inspired? Carolina, what would you say?
If you're looking to start a transformation in your organization, or you're already on the way there, I would definitely start with the leadership and the culture. Just from personal experience working at the bank, when I first started, it was a different culture. It was very conservative. It was very close-minded. The bank had been through several different mergers. It was a very complex system on top of system on top of system from all these mergers. And there were times when we would hear people say, well, I've been doing it that way for 20 years. Why should I change that? And one of the things that BBVA did to really drive transformation and that mindset of customer centricity is they started with the culture and the values, and they did an entire revamp of messaging and communication to say, this is our mission. We want to be the best digital bank in the world, and here's why we want to go there, and here's how we're going to get there. And that message, I mean, you could see the culture change in the people. You could see people leaving the bank and the reorganization in a positive way to move us forward. And it gave you, it felt good because the leadership was in line, and then they chose a few key areas in the bank to say, these are the areas that we feel are going to be absolutely key for customers, like the contact center, for example, and we want to transform these areas to set us up for the future.
Lisa?
I hope people take away from my standpoint, I feel like it's the human component. You have to keep the human component in everything that you do, whether it's your employees and your patients, your customers, that understanding the habits of humans, and that you have the ability to change someone's life whether, I tell my schedulers, you can save someone's life in the work that you do. It's important work that you're doing. So it's not just about I'm picking up a phone, I'm hearing someone on the other line. You are impacting someone's life in a way that it can change the whole course of everything that they do. And also having an organization that leads from the top when it comes to making some transformational change, having your CEO or your top leaders actually all on board and speaking to their employees. And we've had that. Our CEO on videos telling us every step of the way when we dealt with the racial tension, just having him come forward and tell people what they're doing as an organization. And the organization rose to the occasion of a Better Together Fund, where it was employees taking care of other employees. It was really pretty amazing, but it's not something that's new for our organization. It is the norm. And when those guiding principles really come to the forefront and they're not just on paper, and they're really your values and what you live and what you stand for as an organization, I think that is something that needs to be impressed as we move forward, because we've changed the way that everything is going. Everything has changed. So we have to think differently as we move forward.
Well, to our panelists today, you've been tremendous, and thank you so much for your insight and sharing your leadership and your determination and your dedication. It's been a pleasure speaking to you all today, and please be safe.
Thank you, Pam and Lisa, Catalina and Brian. That was remarkable.
And thanks to Salesforce for their support in bringing us that remarkable session. Now we've got two very important reminders before we head into our next round of sessions.
First, don't forget to visit the Expo Hall Concierge right up here.
That's right. It can be very overwhelming to navigate the virtual expo hall.
That's right.
We created a concierge booth to help you find the solutions you need.
You'll be greeted by our very own Mario Matalich and Sandy Coe.
They'll be there to help you between 1 to 2:30 p.m. today, Eastern, and then also at 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern.
Second, we're rewarding 1,000 points when you visit a virtual trade show booth, starting at 1 p.m. Well, it's now.
Go ahead, 1,000 points.
Yeah.
I better shimmy over to the trade show booth to earn me those points.
Well, enjoy the breakout sessions up now and the case studies, and we'll see you back here at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
Bye for now. Rack up those points.
That's right. See you, everybody.